going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about a huge update regarding Modern Warfare 2's campaign DLC, the next chapter for Ghost, and even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, because we're very close to 100,000 subscribers here on the main channel. Really appreciate it. Also drop a like and turn notifications on to stay up to date with everything going on in Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, Warzone Mobile, and any other future Call of Duty as well. Now, speaking of Warzone Mobile, real quickly, just in case you guys missed the news, it was confirmed that Shoe House is going to be available in Warzone Mobile's multiplayer during the game's launch if the game surpasses 35 million pre-registrations. Now, no doubt in my mind that is going to happen really soon. I mean, right now you can pre-register on iOS, but only in certain countries. I believe Canada doesn't have access to this yet, and I'm sure other countries don't either. So whenever all countries get access to pre-registering, there's no doubt in my mind that they're going to announce really quickly, oh, Shoot House is going to be available right at launch, and I'm sure they'll even announce some other rewards that we don't know about as of yet. But today, an interesting article got posted by the infamous Ralph's Valve, who, as I remind you guys, has gotten quite a bit correct about Modern Warfare 2 in terms of leaks, but there are some things that he was just really off with, so that's why I say take all rumors with a grain of salt, of course. You never know what's true, what may have been true at one point but got changed. Always take that very, very lightly. But today he wrote an article that does say, Ghost spin-off campaign in development. And he did say we're in for an absolute treat. He started by mentioning a plan for an origin campaign is underway at Infinity Ward, fleshing out the story behind the masked enigma Simon Ghost Riley, giving some base to the character's more low-key, superficial appearance. Prior to the release of Modern Warfare 2, Infinity Ward's narrative team expressed some interest in the idea and entertained the possibility of an offshoot campaign centered around one of Call of Duty's most cemented characters. In an interview with IGN, head writer at Infinity Ward Brian Bloom did say the following: "There are others who would like to do that too, and we think that would be really interesting." And again, that's kind of where this interview started, that there's something about that character that's iconic, but the mask and some of those more superficial elements, as we've attempted to build them out here in our current release, where did some of those things come from? And exploring that and looking at that would be something I think the audience would love, and we would love to get into. Ralph then continued by saying, now, fresh off the launch of Modern Warfare 2, plans are reportedly in progress for building out and conceptually bringing this story to life. An associate explicitly revealed that throughout development, the team had approached Simon Ghost Riley's actor, Samuel Rukin, with the notion of further developing his character beyond the box release. Whether the spinoff develops into Modern Warfare 2's alleged premium expansion for 2023 remains a mystery. We reached out for comment on whether this was being considered, though I've yet to confirm any suggestive response. The character, Simon Ghost Riley, quickly gained some virality hot off the release of Modern Warfare 2. Fans were quick to drop some of their own art, templates, and trending short-form videos across several popular apps like TikTok and Twitter, providing great reception for the game. Amazingly, the strong reactions to the character acted as a partial reason for the idea to go ahead. In conversation with an associate, Modern Warfare 2's sophomore DLC expansion will expand the campaign story with an intimate, episodic look beyond Call of Duty's more established characters, factions, and new blood. Infinity Ward's approach to single-player content for 2023 was likened to Supermassive Games' The Dark Pictures anthological series. So in all honesty, like I said before, I think the reception to Task Force 141 with the rebooted timeline has been much stronger and more iconic than Task Force 141 from the older Modern Warfare games. It's probably a hot take. You can disagree with that respectfully in the comments, but maybe because of the rise in social media with TikTok, Twitter, YouTube Shorts, that's why you're seeing Task Force 141 become more and more viral. I mean, the Ghost memes alone are golden, and I'm wondering if this does mean we'll get an actual unmasking of Ghost in this spin-off campaign or spin-off Call of Duty title or whatever this project is going to be. Recently, some data miners who got access to models did go ahead and post what he does look like in-game without the mask, and we kind of knew what he looked like anyway, considering he does take his mask off in the campaign, but you only see the back of his head. We know what the actor looks like, who does his voice, did the motion capture, so we kind of already had an idea as to what Simon Ghost Riley looks like, but I definitely think that whenever we get this spin-off game, it'll probably go into more of his backstory where we do get to see his actual face, and then I'm sure more memes will also come about that. I think the Ghost memes that we've been getting the past couple of weeks are fantastic, and they just get better and better with time. But now here's the question, right? Is this the 2023 premium expansion as referenced in the article? Is this what Jason Schreier's been talking about, another gaming journalist who did mention Modern Warfare 2 is getting a second year of support with a paid campaign? This could be what that is, but with rumors that Sledgehammer is leading development on the 2023 paid DLC or whatever that is, maybe this Ghost spinoff is something that Infinity Ward will be working on later as like a Modern Warfare spinoff of sorts that won't be called Modern Warfare 3, or it's a prequel game. Who knows? But as of now, I do think whatever we get in 2023 is going to be like what Miles Morales is to Spider-Man PS4. It's its own game, but it's just so deeply connected with that first game. It's a spin-off, but it uses the same technology and it's built with the same engine. I think that's what 2023 is going to entail. It'll be a spin-off campaign. It'll have a multiplayer featuring remastered maps, maybe something else like zombies or who knows what that could be, but it'll still be its own application, but gets added to that COD HQ menu as we have right now with Warzone 2 and DMZ. But if Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer could somehow collaborate and get a Ghost spin-off as the campaign for next year's release, that would be fantastic. I still think, as I mentioned in a video before, that whatever 2023 brings to the table for Call of Duty, it's being misinterpreted right now as Modern Warfare 2 DLC. I think it's its own game entirely, like Miles Morales is to Spider-Man PS4, but you never know, right? We're so far away from that release that who knows what that could turn into. Now, coincidentally, speaking of Sledgehammer, there was an article written a little while back regarding what a COD Ghost 2 could look like, and I do feel like whatever this spin-off game is going to be for our new Simon Riley is gonna be a Ghost 2 in spirit. Now, I'm not saying that COD Ghost necessarily canon, but if you want to reestablish the idea that there is a Ghost team, I think the spin-off game featuring the new Simon Riley could actually kick that off. Kind of similar to the Team Ghost that we have in the current Modern Warfare 2 campaign. It's kind of established that, yeah, the Ghost team could exist in this Modern Warfare timeline, and as the article says here, it could be simultaneous redemption for both the Ghost brand and Sledgehammer, because like I've been saying, I don't know what Sledgehammer could really produce at this point to kind of revive the reputation after the rough launch of Vanguard and the other mistakes they made with World War II 2017. I do think them kind of rebooting Ghost in a way and then putting our new Simon Riley at the forefront of that could help people gain some trust back in Sledgehammer, and on top of that can kind of fix what Ghost was going for, which is that Team Ghost vibe. They could always establish that once again in our brand new COD 2.0 universe. Now, as Ralph said in the article, we're going to have some sophomore DLC expansion with Modern Warfare 2 next year, but he mentions how it'll be an episodic look behind Call of Duty's more established characters, so that also means we can get spin-off games for other members of 141. I mean, we could have multiple episodes for just Ghost alone, like a prequel type of experience, a flashback to how he became Ghost. We could then have an episode that focuses on him forming his own team of Ghost. I mean, there's a lot that we could do here, and I do think that Activision is really interested in doing these spin-off games maybe every other year. Do a major Call of Duty launch every other year, then in between that, do these episodic spin-off like releases for some of our fan favorite characters or other things like zombies. So I'm curious if this means after the next Black Ops releases in 2024, we'll end up seeing a spin-off of sorts 2025, whether it's remastered zombies maps, a spin-off of a certain character. I think Activision is going down that route for the way COD 2.0 releases are going to work annually. Now, if you look at this report from the Ghost of Hope, where he mentions that COD will operate under a tick-tock cycle going forward, with Tick 1 Year 1 being the new premium title, significant engine updates, building a storyline, but then the TOC Year 2 will be that paid premium DLC model, continuing the story, leading the game into the next tick. If you look at all that, you're probably going to wonder, well, what does 2023 look like? We don't know much just yet, but let's say the campaign is centered around Ghost. You could safely say that the multiplayer will likely just be Modern Warfare 2 2.0, so to speak, a multiplayer that, again, shares the same engine, shares maybe very similar weapons, the same progression model, but then when you combine that with the greatest hits rumor, it does look like the multiplayer for this game, if the Ghost spinoff is next year, is likely just going to be a giant remastered kind of collection, also a celebration of the last 20 years of Call of Duty. It is the 20-year anniversary in 2023, so I do think it's going to be a very special type of launch for whatever that game is, and maybe the Ghost spinoff is the campaign set for it that Sledgehammer is going to be working on, and the interview with IGN is kind of a hint towards that. Maybe they are farther along development of this Ghost spinoff than we know right now, but we're just assuming that it's only talks behind the scenes, but it could be a lot more than that. Now, I think it's cool to think about the TOC or the Year 2, if that's the model they end up going with for COD going forward. That could be what Sledgehammer's role ends up becoming. Instead of them coming out with a Tick or a Year 1 premium title, they end up just working on that big Year 2 expansion for not just Infinity Ward for Modern Warfare 2, but then they also do the same thing maybe for the next Black Ops game, and the Year 2 that game could get in 2025. Maybe that's going to be their role moving forward, which to me I think makes more sense than them pumping out a Vanguard 2 or even an Advanced Warfare 2, even though I think that would be cool to see. I think maybe their role for now should maybe just be on these expansions. Now, the last thing I'll say is that I'm happy we're getting rumors and technically confirmation from gaming journalists that campaigns are here to stay for this franchise. I think people out there were worried that with the rise of Warzone, Battle Royales, Battle Passes, the whole cross progression thing, that eventually campaigns would kind of fade out a little bit to the point where where Call of Duty's come out and it's just a multiplayer, a battle royale, a zombies maybe. But I'm really happy that there's still some huge interest in campaigns behind the scenes. Developers want to keep making them, and on top of that, Activision has interest in doing some spin-offs now and getting other campaigns released maybe every other year, or doing single-player add-on DLC that costs money during a year or two of sorts. I'm so happy to hear that because I'm a huge fan of campaigns, and it's always going to be a staple for this franchise. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on this huge rumor regarding a Ghost spin-off campaign potentially releasing in 2023? How are you feeling about seeing another chapter of our brand new Simon Ghost Riley? And what do you think about everything else we discussed? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.